everybody, welcome to the end of season 6 review here on Dog Turds into Diamonds. Yeah, it's the end of season review, and that can mean only one thing. We did not in the end challenge for a playoff spot. We finished 10th in the league. We were, I think, I'm going to say 4 points off the playoff spots. It might have been 6. We'll have a look at that after we've gone through this end of season presentation. We kind of, after having that 9-game unbeaten run where we won 8 in a row, it was kind of disappointing that we kind of fell apart again at the end, but I guess that just summed up our season. Overall, I'm not too disappointed. We actually finished, I think, with 4 points less than last season, so in theory we were worse, but I feel like it was actually an improvement in terms of how the team developed over the course of the season. And I feel like we've got a much stronger squad now, and we've got solid bases that we've put down to hopefully go a step further and challenge for promotion next season. It would be disappointing if we didn't, because then if we don't really challenge next season, it's then 3 seasons in the Vanarama National League without really pulling up any trees, and you start to get a bit bogged down. And with only one team going up automatically, I mean, in Football Manager, the Vanarama National League is obviously famous for being a league that you can really get stuck in with just that one promotion place. So I would hate to do more than 3 or maybe maximum 4 seasons in the Vanarama National League. I feel like we've really got to push on next season. I've got to really get my scouting and the whole part of the signing the players. I've got to get it right this summer and really give us a chance. I think, like I say, we've got a decent base. We've got some good players coming in. I think there's every reason to be optimistic that we can take that next step next season. So recruitment, I think, is going to be key in the summer. Let's have a look at how everything was seen this season. Now, we actually had, I think, 23 players come in this season. I was busy. A lot of the loan players I didn't use. Again, as I've been doing all season long, I've got to apologise if you can hear all the banging from the construction work again. Absolutely nuts, the amount of noise they make each day down working on my neighbour's house. So yeah, 23 players came in. It was absolutely ridiculous the amount of players I brought in. We did do a big squad rebuild in the summer, and then I was just gradually bringing more and more players in as the season went on. Riley Owen, a winger from Birmingham, just played the 1 game substitute appearance, scored a goal. Great for him. See you later. Never coming back. Actually has a couple of decent things about him, but overall he's just not a good enough player. George Lloyd, I think overall you have to say he was a success. Spent 27 starts, 15 goals. So more than 1 in 2 off his starts at least, and 8 assists as well. I think I would be more than happy to keep him around next season. I can't remember how much does he earn on his contract. Is he one of our expensive players? He is. So do you know what? On 575 a week, and the fact that technically he's kind of limited, mentally and physically he's pretty good, but in terms of his technicals, he's quite a limited player. For that sort of money, I don't know if maybe I might look to move him on. I mean, he's got a contract until 2029. Oh my goodness. Again, I don't know if the microphone is picking these noises up from the construction work. Shut up! Oh man, that's annoying. Jimmy Patterson was released by Manchester United. He just made where have their appearances gone? He made a couple of appearances, so that's quite strange. Where have the appearances gone here? Jimmy Patterson made a couple of appearances. Now I really want to get back. I'm going back and seeing if I go forward again. Is that going to give me their appearance? No. Where did their appearances go? Can I add it in here anywhere? Is there any way I can add in their appearances? I really want to know about their appearances here. That's annoying. Um, so anyway, what about if I switch between all the loans out and loans in, and is that going to reset it? Yes, it does. There you go. Just a bit of trial and error. That's the way you sort these things out. So Jimmy Patterson, he's a really good young player. He's good as a squad player. Hopefully he improves. I'd like to keep him around in the squad just to keep numbers up. And yeah, he made 2 appearances off the bench, including in the final game of the season. Yeah, we'll see what happens with him. Scott Wilson on loan from Walsall. He has Football League teams interested in him, so I don't think it's going to be possible to get him. But yeah, you can see Chesterfield, who are obviously in our division along with Aldershot, but then there's Northampton, Port Vale. Hopefully he ends up with us for next season, because I think he was an excellent player. 7.12 rating, that 14 jump in reach, very useful. Hopefully we get him signed. Akeem Azonwafo, I gave him a new contract in the end. He had Football League clubs interested in him. I just wanted, more than anything, I just wanted to protect his value. Obviously, he would have been out of contract at the end of the season. He's now got 2 years. If anybody wants him, they're going to have to come in and pay something for him. He had a decent season, 10 assists and 5 goals. He was released from Southampton, I believe it was. Yeah. So a decent first season from Akeem. He has lost a little bit of technical ability. Hopefully he can regain that over time with the training. We'll see what happens. But I think, all in all, I think these players up here all have to be considered, apart from Jimmy Patterson, these players up here have to be considered successful signings this season, which I'm pleased about. Feel like they make us stronger and should hopefully be around next season, if I can get Scott Wilson before a Football League club offers him anything. Albi Bekja, and again, I've lost the appearances again. Let's have a look. Let's go back. There you go, me little trick there. Albi Bekja, 4 appearances, 1 assist. Again, a decent little squad player. Hopefully can develop into more. Connor McAvoy, who was released by Kettering. Real shame that he got injured towards the end of the season. He has got 7 weeks out. Again, a really, really good squad player. I don't think he's good enough to be a starting centre-back for us. But as the backup centre-back, backup right winger as well. 6'3" and 14 jumping reach. Very, very good. Yeah, I'm going to offer him a new contract. He's on only £275 a week. I'm definitely going to get him signed up for next season. I think he has really worked out well for us. Let's change this back. Am I doing something silly that I could be getting the appearances back a lot easier than that? Gary Roberts, again, another youngster. I think he had a solid first season. The 18-year-old, released by Liverpool, made 16 appearances, 3 starts. I think he's a really, really good squad player. Josh Thornton, you look at his overall rating there, 6.88. That says he didn't have a very good season. I was really pleased with him. I thought he had a really good, solid season. I think he was definitely our best right back. I am more than happy to keep him around next season. Max Sheaf in from Cambridge. He was a disappointment. He has got a couple of years left on his contract still, but really he ended up just being our substitute off the bench, the substitute number 10 when Gibbs needed a rest. He didn't really do it in midfield. I think he's not really physically strong enough to play in that 2-man midfield. So yeah, overall disappointed with him. As a creative player, I was expecting more goals and assists. He was definitely a disappointment. Leighton Farley came in from Everton, another youngster. Hasn't really progressed. At the start of the season, I thought he might get more games than he did. Jack Sparks played the last couple of games of the season, got a couple of assists, which was nice, has scored a goal. We'll see what happens next season. I'm looking at him to be our sub left back and sub left winger. So I think a really versatile, good quality player. I think he'll turn out to be a good success and a decent squad player. Lewis Buttroyd in on loan from Gloucester. I would love to make him our starting left back for next season. I think he got better as the season went on. He is another one that has got Cambridge United, a Football League club, interested in him. We might not be able to get him, but I'll have a go at it. I think. Why am I clicking on him again? I think he is a very solid left back for our level. I would like to keep him around. All right, who else? Sam Cornish. He gave us something we didn't have, which was a really solid defensive midfielder, but his lack of physical ability. I mean, did he have 4 pace, 4 speed? He is so incredibly slow, but I mean, he can tackle, he can pass, he's got really good mentals. I think as a squad player, do you know what? Yeah, I am talking about Sam Cornish. As a squad player, I think he's really good to keep around. Jack Evans, left back in on loan from Wealdstone, was absolutely awful. Didn't play the second half of the season once we got Buttroyd in. He won't be back. James Gibbons, I wanted to do this with you guys here. You're going to see in the results, we were playing, was it Scunthorpe at home? We were 1-1 in the game, really competing well, maybe starting to get on top. James Gibbons gets himself sent off, and we ended up losing the game. Very, very annoyed with James Gibbon. Very disappointed with the season he had, a 6.66 rating. I thought with those mentals that he has and physical ability and the crossing ability, I thought he'd do a lot better. So James Gibbons, I am releasing you right now. Get out of here. Never want to see you again. As someone that I actually chased to get in at the start of the season, or a couple of seasons ago it might have been, I was really disappointed how he turned out. Mohamed Magasuba, released by Manchester City. I gave him a game on the last day of the season. I gave him a contract because Middlesbrough was sniffing around him. I think he can turn out to be a really good player. Mentally, he's absolutely awesome with his flair and determination, but also decisions, his leadership, his anticipation. Physically, he's a good athlete. Technically, a little bit limited, but he's got time to develop. If we could maybe get up, he's another player that I just wanted to protect his value. And if we can get up and turn pro, I think he could develop into a very good player. So, again, I mean, only the 3 appearances. He was one for the future when I bought him, and I think he's a decent prospect. Harrison Selvey and Joe Ryder came in as loan players, never played. So there you go. The loans out. All of these players are to come back, obviously, to the club. Jay Williams, I'm going to let go. Luke Matruk, I will be trying to move on somewhere or even extend his loan. The same with Sam Taylor. I think Sam Taylor could do a job for us, but he's not next level, so we'll see what happens there. Vanarama National League finished 10th. Yeah, 6 points off the playoffs in the end, but we had a good recovery in the last couple of months of the season as the banging goes on and on. Shut up! Oh man. Oh, that is the annoying thing about having neighbours, and that. So there we go. So we finished 10th. It was an acceptable performance. The board were happy with it. They gave me a new 3-year contract. And obviously the FA Trophy and the FA Cup was an absolute disaster. And it's left us more than 350,000 in debt. And we've now got a long pre-season. I think we're going to be probably $500,000 in debt by the time the season starts. We really need a good FA Cup run this coming season. It is going to be absolutely vital before it starts affecting what we can do in terms of wages and everything with our finances. Biggest win, 5-1 away at Eastleigh. That was a live con game. Absolutely sensational performance against a team that was going for playoffs. That was obviously part of one of the early games in our 8-game winning run. I was so happy with that. Match to remember. Why would Aldershot away be the match to remember? Not that was early on in the season as well, wasn't it? That was our 2nd game of the season. Bit depressing that our 2nd game of the season was the match to remember. But yeah, never mind. Who was goal of the season? Max Sheaf away at Billericay. I don't even want to watch it. I'm not worried about that. That was one of his early games, I believe. And yeah, he didn't really build on that. Unsurprisingly, all of the revenue streams are down this season because of our poor cup runs. We've made a huge loss. It's a real shame. Player shirt sales has gone up a little bit. Not bad. Let's see what happens next season. But yeah, I think those players, Gibbs, Hughes, I've just offered Hughes a new contract. Price has signed a new contract. Lloyd and Sheaf, I think they probably are the sexiest players that we've got, really. I think if you were making a sexy lineup, those guys would definitely be in it. So yeah, no disagreements there. And how we lined up, Hardy on the right there. In the end, it was George Lloyd on the right. I can't believe James Price is not in there. Top scorer 3 seasons running. He ended up, I think, with 22 goals for the season, which, considering he wasn't even in the team for the first few months, was a really good achievement. I'm surprised he's not there, but Azonwa 4 in there, pretty good. Matt Butcher, just a little shout out to Matt. Not a shout out to Matt Butcher. He made himself a first team regular by the end of the season. Really pleased with how he turned things around. Got a few assists at the end. I'm not going to renew his contract, and when I show you another confirmed signing, you will understand why. But Matt Butcher, in the end, he hasn't done badly for us. Isaac Smith, he is going to leave. He's got league interest in him. He's out of contract. Real shame. The rest of the team, well, not bad. The accolades. All right, so I was Vanarama National League Manager of the Month once. There you go. Something to be proud of there. Put that trophy on the mantelpiece. Fans Player of the Season was George Lloyd. Not quite sure why. Young Player of the Season, Liam Gibbs. Akeem Azonwa signing of the season. Max Sheaf goal of the season. And James Price, 22 goals for the 21-year-old. He really proved me wrong this season after his awful start where he was really struggling for goals. He picked it up, and I think it's such a shame that we don't train full-time. I think he could become a really good, solid Football League player, maybe up to League One level. As more noise comes from the construction, that is like a cheese grater along the side of my ears. That is horrible. I apologise, but again, I've got no other opportunities to make these videos. So the story of this season is going to be the construction work outside ruin the professionalism of my videos. So yeah, sorry about that. That's Football Manager for you, isn't it? You have to put up with these things. Yeah, James Price has been fantastic. 22 in 27 starts. I'm sure his first 7 or 8 games he didn't get a goal this season. So he really finished almost won every game. Absolutely wonderful. He's really proven himself this season to be a Vanarama National League striker. He's really stepped it up. Look at that, 64 league goals in 106 games, 12 assists. He's really made himself a fan favourite and one of my real favourites in this save over the last few seasons. Absolutely love him. Had no hesitation to give him that new 2-year contract. He's dropped his wage demands by £50 a week as well, which is great. I just absolutely love him. I think he's one of my new Football Manager man crushes for this save after Kalen Hazeman and Demalio Brown-Sterling. Liam Gibbs, 13 assists. Well done to him. Also had the Most Player of the Match awards. Really good to see him coming good. George Lloyd, the highest average rating on a 7.2. That noise. Oh man, if you are listening to this, I cannot imagine what you are thinking. You must be thinking this is the most unprofessional Football Manager show on YouTube. This is absolutely horrible production values. I apologise. At least you know it's real, right? Sam Cornish, most pass completed, great. James Gibbons, worst discipline, 12 yellow cards and 3 reds. Thank goodness he's no longer in the team, and thank goodness Zidane Iqbal is no longer in the team. We got some, well, not decent money, we just got a little bit of money for him, which was nice. And that kind of rounds things off there. All I'm going to do to finish off today, I'm not going to look around the world. Well, do you know what? I'll go back to that. Who's been inducted into our... Liam Gibbs has been inducted into our overall best 11 squad. But it's not really a best 11, is it? Because it's a squad. Liam Gibbs is on the bench there. The first 11 has not changed. Apart from Demalia Brown-Sterling has disappeared. What on earth has happened to him? He's not even on the bench. How is that possible? How can Joe Hardy be there and Demalia Brown-Sterling not? That is criminal. I think I haven't heard anything of Demalia Brown-Sterling in ages. He was one of those players that always commented on the players who were in good form, etc. in the news. And now I never see anything from him, so I'm pretty sure he's retired. I'm not going to search it because I'm scared of finding it confirmed. But I think he's probably retired. That's a real shame. But there you go. Hopefully next season we can start seeing someone like Liam Gibbs maybe getting in the starting 11 as they continue to put down a legacy at the club. Hopefully we can have a successful season and they can be part of it. So there you go. Where are they now? I'll tell you what, I'm going to click on where are they now. Demalia Brown-Sterling. I can still click on his name. He's retired. Oh, he's only 24. Poor Demalia Brown-Sterling. Look at that goal record, and he never went anywhere else. Oh, Demalio. What a shame. What a shame. Well done, Demalia Brown-Sterling, on a short but glorious career. His candle shone bright, but as is the case, for a very short period of time. Right, let's just have a quick look to finish this episode. I'm going to look at who I want to keep around for next season. Sam Blair, I think, is good enough to continue as our goalkeeper. As always, if we find someone better, I'll happily put him in the team. But I'm perfectly happy to have Sam Blair in there. Josh Staunton will be our right back, I think. I'm not really looking for a right back. If someone comes up, fantastic. Our left back to start next season is going to be David Tatonda, this new signing that we have made, who is just training with us until the contract begins. In midfield, we are going to have two new midfielders. We'll look at the transfers coming in a second. Liam Gibbs, I think, is good enough to continue as our number 10. And I think on the left, I'm happy with the Zonwafor or Thomas Hughes in that left-sided role. Thomas Hughes did really well this season as a left-sided advanced playmaker. And up front, I think James Price has just cemented his place. Now, even though George Lloyd was apparently our fans' player of the season, that I think all those positions are up for grabs in the summer. Here in defence, if I can confirm Wilson, I would love to do it. I just don't think so. I think he'll go to a Football League club. But if I can get Scott Wilson in permanently, that would be absolutely awesome. But then there, I think we've got another 1, 2, 3, 4 positions up for grabs if I can find some extra special players. In these two central midfield positions, I think I've already got those players confirmed. We'll have a look at that in a minute. All of these players, think McAvoy. George Ray, by the way, has agreed a move to Braintree. The 33-year-old captain is moving on. I think McAvoy sticks around as a substitute defender. Versatile to play on the right or in the centre, which is very good. Isaac Smith I'd love to keep, but look, I mean, he's got so much interest from Football League clubs. There's no way he's going to be here next season, which is a real shame. Jack Sparks I like as our sub left back or sub left winger. Who else around? Sam Cornish as a squad player. I've got no problems with that. I'll put him on the bench there. Or actually move him into that position there. Who else have we got? Magasuba, I think, can be a decent squad player if I put him there. Maybe as I think I'll move Magasuba as the sub left back and Sparks as the sub left winger. Patterson is another one. Quite happy to keep him around. At the moment, maybe could be the sub right back. Who else? I think we've got as I said, we've got a decent enough base of a squad for next season here. Max Sheaf as a sub midfielder. Who else is around outside the squad here? Gary Roberts. I think the bench, I am very, very happy with. Thomas Hughes, obviously going to be around as a sub number 10 or winger. So he is in there. We don't need sort of major surgery. We just need some quality in the starting lineup. I'll put George Lloyd there at the moment. And I will put also there Joe Hardy. I think, so you can see we've got a pretty full bench, really. It's really only maybe a centre-back, maybe a full-back for either of these two. These two are maybe not quite ready to be regulars in the first team, but a sub-goalkeeper maybe. I think Adam Smith, I didn't play him at all this season. He's 34, 275 a week. Is it really worth it? I think we can probably get someone of a similar level in for probably less money. So I'll probably let him go. Gabadebo, do I give him a new contract? He's on 375 a week. He's actually got a year left. Do I maybe let him go or keep him around? That's another question there. He played the last game of the season, scored a goal. Yeah, there's not much to do on the bench. So I think really it's all about finding players that are good enough to improve the first 11. You can see all these green names. We've got more players in on trial. I've got to see how they turn out when we know a little bit more about them. Owen Dafford is a young centre-back. You can already see there it's unlikely he's going to be good enough. It's just a real slog going through all the players that are being released, but I think I've got quite a good amount done before the season's even ended. And in terms of players coming in, I've offered Calvin Clare a contract. I don't think we're going to get him. He has offers from some Football League clubs. You can see he's not that great technically as a right back, but I mean, he's got 9 marking, 8 passing, 11 tackling, and he's also got 8 dribbling and 9 crossing. So he's not bad for our level, but mentally, he's an absolute beast. 12 positioning, 12 determination and concentration, which is great. 15 decisions, which is elite for the Vanarama National League. And then 11 bravery, 14 aggression, and he's a really good athlete as well. But as I say, he's got a number of Football League clubs that have made him offers, and he's also got Charlton and Swansea's under 23s. I think he's going to end up going there. Walsall as well. I think it looks really unlikely that we'll get him, but we've offered him a contract. I think he'd be a great signing for us. David Tatunda we know about. James Sheringham we know about. Fran Hodgin we know about. And this is why I'm not going to keep Matt Butcher around. Samuel Agyapong is being released by Manchester United, and he looks an excellent central midfielder. He's only 5'9", but I mean he's really strong, got great stamina, good pace, really good teamwork and work rate. He's brilliant off the ball. He's a leader, very determined. Not so good at the side of the game in terms of maybe the intelligence of decisions and the composure, anticipation, but I think he looks a really good central midfielder. And if we compare him to Matt Butcher, you can see he beats Matt Butcher on everything, really. He's a better technician, the same mentally, better physically. I mean, you look at the polygon and there's no comparison. He's just a big upgrade on Matt Butcher. He's coming in, I think he's going to make, I'm going to say 300 a week. I can't quite remember. Yeah, we can't actually see the contract we've offered to him. I guess I could if I... Hold on, I can approach to sign him, but he's already confirmed to be joining us. So yeah, that's a bit odd. So yeah, Samuel Agyapong I think is going to really add something to the midfield next season, which is fantastic. So we've got lots of midfielders coming in, a new left back. James Sheringham can also play as a left back if we need him to, which I guess he wouldn't be bad there as well. So he gives us really good options. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the 4 players I've got coming in. I think all 4 of them are good enough to be first team regulars for us. I think they all really improve us. So I feel like I've got some really good work done before we even get into the summer now. So yeah, from there it's all about just finding maybe if there is a super striker out there, and we definitely need at least 1 centre back, maybe 2. Those are going to be my priorities. Obviously, as I said, in the other positions, if somebody exceptional comes up really anywhere on the field, I'm obviously going to take the chance to bring them in. But I'm really happy with that, with the basis of that squad. And I think if we do add that little bit of extra quality, I think we can have a very different season next season. I'm really optimistic. So yeah, that is where we're going to end it. I'll leave us on the finances page, which is a disaster. 380,000 in debt, and we don't play again until the end of August when pre-season starts. We are going to be 500,000 in debt at the start of next season. Right now, it says the wage budget is going to remain the same, 10,000. We're a little bit over it on committed spending, but players like Matt Butcher, Jay Williams, a lot of players are going to leave in the summer. So I think I'm going to be well under that budget by the time I start looking at other signings in pre-season. So was there a notification here of budgets for the next season? No, just the club. Let's have a look. No, just the club expectations. What expectations have we got? Because we've achieved establishing the club as a Vanarama National League team. It still says at the end of next season they just want to avoid relegation. So we're under no pressure. And even then, in 3 seasons' time, they only want a top half finish, which we're already doing. So we're under no pressure at all. I think my goal for next season has got to be at least making those playoffs. I want to have a real push next season. I think we're good enough. I feel like we probably have underachieved a little bit in both seasons in the Vanarama National League. Let's have a look. So really, as you know, if you play Football Manager, you really just want to go with what the board expectations are when you're telling the players about next season. So have a well-deserved break, every single one of you, to be fully rested. It's going to be a hard battle against relegation. I'm going to say I'm aiming for a mid-table. I know this is going to be a mistake, but I'm going to tell them I'm aiming for a mid-table finish. Yeah, of course it was a mistake. Let's wait. There we go. All right. I'm getting carried away. We could find ourselves in a relegation battle, but I'm confident we can stay up. Do I say that? Or do I just tell them work as hard as possible to avoid the drop? Go on. There you go. They've really got no concept of really how good we are, I think. But there you go. That's exactly the sort of reaction I was looking for. Enjoy your breaks. Thanks, everybody. There we go. We'll leave it there with an encouraged squad. Thanks for watching today's episode. Sorry we didn't have some playoffs to show you, but hopefully we can get on that for next season. I'm going to play the pre-season, make some more signings, and hopefully I can present you a promotion-ready squad for the start of season 7 of Dog Turds into Diamonds. And just an extra little announcement, just after I finished recording the next couple of news stories that came up, you can see here we are planning to build a new stadium, which is obviously absolutely huge. I have no idea how we can afford to do it with the fact that we're going to be 500,000 in debt at the start of next season. But it's obviously a big development that I wanted to let you guys know about before finishing today's episode. It would be absolutely huge for the club. Still no details, so it's a little way off. I guess it's maybe going to be for the start of next season or maybe later. The other really important thing, and this is going to be absolutely huge, We've had our wage budget knocked down £2,000 a week to 8,000. This is absolutely enormous. I do not know. First of all, I don't know how I'm going to get the current squad down to 8,000. And then after that, I mean, how am I going to bring in any more players? This could turn this save into a real slog. So we're going to have to see what happens there. I'm going to have to see what I can do at the end of June when contracts run out, how much I can bring this wage budget down by. And then I guess I'm going to be really working in the loan market this summer if I want us to have a chance of making the playoffs. This is absolutely enormous. This is not good. We're going to have to see what happens. Yeah, there you go. Big news to finish this episode. I'm going to get into pre-season, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.